Dear eternal God, as working day turns to Sabbath rest, you have been with us all the week, and yet we have often forgotten you. Now, kindling these lights, we say your name, remembering the love you have shown us, and in gratitude and thanks, we turn to you to bathe our hungry souls in your kindness.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
O chadash al Tzion ta'ir, v'nizkeh kulanu mehera le'oro.
May a new light shine upon Zion, and may we be worthy to see its splendor. On this day, may we see the world in a new light. On this day, let us be freed from desire for gain, from ambition for material things. On this day, let us look beyond time and space towards eternity and know the blessing of peace.
Tzava'ot Nirzafa V'gam kalata Nafshi Lachatzrot Adonai Libi Uzari Yarananu El Chai Gam Zibo
How lovely are your dwelling places, God of the hosts of heaven. My soul longs and yearns for your courts.
My heart and flesh sing for joy to you, the living God.
As a sparrow finds a home and the swallow has a nest where she may lay her young,
so do I seek out your altars, my sovereign and my God.
Happy are those who find their strength in you.
Whose hearts are full of your praise.
Passing through the driest valley, they find it a place of springs.
Blessed with pools by the early rains.
They go from strength to strength.
They appear before God in Zion.
God of the hosts of heaven, hear my prayer.
Give ear, O God of Jacob.
One day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere.
I would rather stand at the threshold of your house than dwell in tents of wickedness.
Eternal God, you are a sun and a shield.
Your gifts are grace
You
and glory.
withhold no good thing from those who walk uprightly.
Eternal ruler of the hosts of heaven, happy are those who trust in you.
On page 92, please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Praise be the one to whom our praise is due.
We praise the Eternal One,
To whom our praise is due forever. Please be seated. Let us continue today. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening fall.
Ahavat olam, ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, amacha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, hukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, Akein Adonai, Eloheinu, Shloch beinu, Uvakumeinu, Nasiyah, Yevodecha, V'nizmach, V'divrei Toratecha, U'v'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed, Ki hem chayenu, Ve'orech yameinu, U'vahem yageh yomam v'layla, Yomam v'layla. V'yahavatacha, Al tasor mimenu, Al tasor mimenu, Le'olamim.
Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol mo'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha. U'kshartam le'ot al yadecha. V'hayu letotafot bein einecha. Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha.
למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please be seated.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then full of joy, we sang together.
מי כמוך בלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא
ונאמר, כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, והגן בעדנו והסר מעלינו אויב תבל וחרב רעב ויגון, והרג ממנו עוון וחשע, ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה, כי אל מלך חנון ורחום אתה, ושמות צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורה סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל יושבי תבל. Please rise. אדוני שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויינם.
God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts that we may serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts. May all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath.
רצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, שאותך לבדך, ביראה נעבוד. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך, שבכל עת ערב ובוקר בצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, Osei HaShalom.
Let us take a few moments for silent prayer.
The words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer.
Osei Shalom in Ramah, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol bnei Adam.
Rabbi Aaron and I have totally not liaised this part, so I have no idea if he's planned anything to
Of course I have,
say
Rabbi Leah.
about the Torah portion.
Of course I have.
But this week's Torah portion is one of those Torah portions that is not so well loved, I would say. Most people describe the Torah portion as a little bit boring, or people like the comparison to the IKEA manual, because it's really all about the instructions for building the tabernacle. And what we discovered in my Hebrew class is not only is it about the instructions for building the tabernacle, but in addition, it gives us lots and lots of details, maybe so that we don't notice that it all doesn't quite make sense, or that there's always some critical piece of information missing. But there's one verse in it that is one of my favorite verses in the whole Torah portion, in the whole Torah actually, not just in the Torah portion. And it says there, "Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham," and you shall make me a sanctuary, a tabernacle, so that I may dwell amongst you. And the rabbis are wondering about this sentence. How can this be? It grammatically doesn't make sense. Build me a building so that I can dwell with you, not in it, right? We would have expected, build me a sanctuary so that I can dwell in the sanctuary. But what it actually says, what God says is, build me a tabernacle so that I may dwell amongst you. It's not about the building. Maybe the building is just for us. It's really just an opportunity for us to focus on giving God some space to dwell amongst us. And as I look out into the congregation, both here in the physical sanctuary, but also connecting really all across the world, across continents, from Brazil to Etz Chaim in Prague, to just around the corner, and Tammy's fire burning in front of the sofa. How true it is, how much we build the sanctuary, not just as a physical space, but as an opportunity to allow God to dwell amongst us, whether we're here or in Brazil or in Prague or anywhere else around the world. Berlin, I think, is with us.
And what I found out, Rabbi Leah, this week is
what
that
you found out?
"B'chol hamakom asher azkir et shemi avo elecha ve'erachticha." In every place where I cause my name to be remembered, I will come to you and bless you. And it doesn't matter that it's a Jewish space. I found myself in the manse of the Eastcote and Pinner Methodist minister, the Reverend Lenita Conradi, this week. It is not the Conradi of our members, Richard and Angela Conradi, although the person that we're addressing did inquire as to whether it was a relationship or a relation of Richard Conradi, and I did reply no, but the two of them have probably written many, many times to you, because the person that we were meeting with was the local MP, David Simmons. We came together with members of Citizens UK as part of a national campaign to encourage the government to settle the status of undocumented migrants. People who have lived in this country for many years, their children who have known no other home than the United Kingdom, who have gone to school here, but whose status has always been precarious because it has never been settled. People who are open to abuse and who are unlikely to report it to police for fear that they may be reported to the Home Office for any reason. And of course, they have the right to claim asylum and to live in this country. And it is the failings of our immigration system that has led to well over 1 million people living in this country, undocumented. And so, together with the local ministers of Northwood Methodist Church last night, it's always quite amusing as I close the Ark, because I look at the cross, the illuminated cross from Northwood Methodist Church next door as I close it, of Emmanuel Church, of the Roman Catholic Church in Northwood and other Methodist ministers in the area, all coming together with Imam Abid Khan, the local Muslim religious leader in this area, to ask David Simmons MP to support, along with an eclectic mix of Conservative MPs, from Nusra Ghani through to Ian Duncan Smith, to urge the Prime Minister to settle the status of all of those who live undocumented and still tenuous and perilous lives in this country. And 2 days later, this all came together for me as listening to Rabbi Jackie Tabik speaking about Lily Montague, one of the founders of our movement. She read a quotation of Lily Montague speaking of her translation of faith into life. She said that the development of her faith had come from learning from Claude Montefiore, learning from somebody of incredible erudition. But the way of bringing her faith, into life, into her practice of an ethical monotheism, to bring a difference to the world around her, was influenced by Israel Matuk, the preacher. Together they make, as we know them, the 3 M's. The founders, those who started our movement and provided its our foundation. And this week I felt that on all of our behalf, I had the privilege of representing us and putting our faith into practice, our ethical monotheism, together with the peoples, the religions, the faiths of all of those living in Northwood, Pinner and Ruislip. What a privilege. The 16th century Salonican Rabbi Al-Sheikh stated, God desires that we should have a sanctuary on earth to parallel God's own sanctuary in heaven, and to give us an opportunity to cultivate God's spiritual potential. However, God will not build this sanctuary for us. Rather, requires of us to lead lives of holiness so that we ourselves may be spiritually fit to establish our sanctuary on earth. For us to establish sanctuaries, not just buildings, but people worthy of God's presence within us and within among us. Let us hope that wherever we go, we will have the privilege of hearing the words in our ears, in our minds, and in our hearts. B'chol hamakom asher azkir et shemi avo elecha uverachticha. In every place where I cause my name to be remembered, I will come to you, and I will bless you. Amen.
Amen.
Let us now move to our concluding prayers, unless anybody else has got a Dvar Torah or sermon.
This is what happens when the rabbis don't liaise. You get 2 Dvar Torah.
I thought we had, but we were both busy and not listening to each other.
I thought that was for tomorrow.
Page 520. Page 520 for our concluding prayers. And please rise. And for those of you who are remembering Yahrzeits and who haven't sent in names to us or don't think they're on our list, then please do feel free to post them in the chat. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula li'yotzer bereshit, asher sam chelkeinu li'yached et shemo, v'goraleinu lahamlich malchuto.
Shamayim v'yosed aretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al,
ושכינת עוזב גבוהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו. ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך. כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
It is hard to feel serene when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone. Yet in the emptiness their passing leaves behind, we are not alone. We have the companionship of the living, and even our loved ones who have died live on in our hearts. For what they were is part of what we have become. And on this Shabbat we recall the yahrzeits of Aaron Newman, the father of Graham, of John Goldberg, the brother of David, of Julian Hirsch, the father of David and grandfather of Dora and Eddie, of Pat Holding, the husband of Fiona, father of Maria and grandfather of Anna, of Rodney Lee, father of Mark, Rosalind Cashman, the sister of Sharon Phillips and Jackie Narden, aunt of Mark and Ellie, Michael and Ros, Rose Jordan, the mother of Peter, Rose Katz, the mother of Shirley Forbes, Sadie Shaffron, the mother of Jackie Henning, and Sylvia Steer, the friend of Pip Jacobs. We honour them best when we live as they would wish, responsibly and happily, even in the shadow of our loss, and so draw closer to the source of life, in whom every life finds meaning, purpose, and hope. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitkromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kodesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru Amen. May the Most High Source of perfect peace grant peace to us, to all Israel, to all humanity, and to all those who mourn. Let us say, Amen. Please be seated. In a few moments, we finish on page 76. Just a couple of announcements. Firstly, tomorrow morning, as you tune in, you may get a bit befuddled.
We may get a bit befuddled.
We may not make you befuddled because we may be befuddled ourselves. But we're hoping to join together with our community in York so that we can be part of the welcome ceremony for our joint member Howard Duckworth. He's having his welcome ceremony tomorrow morning. We're hoping it's going to be bang on 11 o'clock, and we're all going to fit in together so that we can celebrate with Howard as well as the York community. And then in the afternoon, we have our Exploring Judaism program. You're really welcome to join us tomorrow between 2 o'clock and 4:30 on Zoom. A fantastic group of people exploring their Judaism, our Judaism, and lots of topics to do with the home, and also considering how our responses might have been following Holocaust Memorial Day to the Shoah, and where it fits in within our Jewish calendar as well. We conclude at 4:30. 4:30, not 5 o'clock, with Havdalah.
Bring your dinosaurs. Do join us. Those who've been to Havdalah will know. Do join us on Zoom, although I think we might have part of the whole trying to sort out the kerfuffle for tomorrow might be that we don't have a camera on Zoom right now, but we can sort that out in a moment, I'm sure.
I can join us in a sec.
But you will be able to hopefully see us on, well, we can see you on Zoom. I don't know if you can see us on Zoom. But otherwise, stay on the live stream for a little bit longer. We're going to conclude
There's two other things.
Two other things?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one very important people, because I know that certainly there is a young person at home sat next to that fire who really ought to be tuning in on Monday evening. We're delighted to welcome into the Ark Anna Turns. She grew up in the Bedfordshire progressive community and went through the LJY, Liberal Jewish Youth Movement, and very much attributes her career now in environmental journalism and activism through those years and through her learning about Tikkun Olam. So please do come along 6:30 to 7:30 on Monday evening to hear Anna. She's utterly inspirational. So please do come along to that. And then on Wednesday at 7:30, please do join Dad as he talks about a liberal Jew who most of us probably haven't heard about, unless you heard his sermon on her, Amy Blank. So that's at 7:30 on Wednesday. But we do now come to our concluding prayer.
Concluding song. Shalom Aleichem. 76. Page 76.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'choni LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzitzachem LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And as we say to all of our angels in the sanctuary and everybody else, depart in peace, so messengers of the Most High, of the Supreme Sovereign, the Holy One, ever to be praised.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom
Shabbat
to
Shalom.
all of you. And please stay where you are for Mike. There we go. This is your cue.
For Kiddush.
For Kiddush. And we'll welcome everybody, our student Rabbi Natalie in Potsdam.
Natalie, I'm going to get this chance to see you actually at JCM. Yes, but I have to persuade you to stay the week, not just 2 days, because otherwise you're missing all the good bits.
It's not to say that the first bit isn't good.
Yeah, but it's not really JCM. It's just a student thing.
Okay. So you're going to Potsdam, Berlin?
No.
Oh, it's online.
Fallenda. Okay. No, it's
not.
It's for real.
Where is it?
Leo is also coming, near Koblenz.
Oh, right. Okay, fantastic. Excellent.
A
Wonderful.
very holy place called Fallenda. To all those out there who are not Catholics, you will not know, but Fallenda is a very holy place in Catholic tradition.
Fantastic. Can I? We conclude that the Kiddush is on page 564. If you wish to follow, I just want to say how proud I am this evening, Rabbi Leah.
You should always be proud.
We have some serious Hebrew scholars within us, within our sanctuary. Absolutely, for people who have studied Hebrew with us for many years, Abby, who is one of our Baalat Tefillah, and Mark and Jutta, and who have been studying Hebrew, and Shinu with Rabbi Leah. And I was just so chuffed to see Melissa following along with the prayers. She has a magic finger, just like Rabbi Aaron, because I'm always panicked that I'll get lost. But no, it's just absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of everybody who studies with us and learns. And Jill as well. My goodness gracious me. Jill, who has the best Yiddishy kind of accent as well that you bring to the floor. So absolutely superb. Anyway, we better make Kiddush before we say...
And Ali is online with for
Ali's
my Hebrew
online
class.
as well. And Paul Himes doesn't know what's hit him already as he begins his journey of learning Hebrew together. Oh, and Michael Woodcott's studying with me as well. So yes, indeed.
There you go.
A big l'chaim, everybody together. Anyway, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי באנו ואכלת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת Amen.
L'chaim. And do enjoy some challah as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Goodbye to our live stream. See you again in the morning. And welcome to everyone on Zoom.
Shabbat